Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through all the fiddly bits that it takes to get these bikes done. Not such an exciting stage, but if you're interested in how restoration should get done, then this is the channel for you. I don't like to buy new things and just plug them in, because I don't consider that restoration. Restoration is about making a plan, fixing, replacing parts that only need to be replaced because they maybe an integral part with a high tolerance that requires the bike to be at a good performance. So we don't compromise on those, but there's lots of things like brackets, bolts and all that kind of stuff that we revive. Firstly, before I continue, I'd just like to say a big thank you to Michael McCann from Ireland, who donated money. He contacted me via email and said, look, can I chuck some money in? He likes the channel. And I said, look, this is a hobby. I can't be held accountable for how few videos I do, but I seem to be ticking away nicely. So maybe that's just a fear that I have, but I'm certainly not doing this as a living for YouTube. It's more of a hobby, and I'm sharing my enjoyment of motorcycle restorations with you. So if you feel like donating, there is a link at the bottom which will take you through to PayPal. Make sure you see my mug on there, and then you'll know it's mine. But it's a fairly safe route, I think, to go if you feel compelled to put some money in. It could be anything. Anyway, that said, so I'm going to take you through some of the incredibly finicky little things. That's why I called this video the fiddle, because it really is just fiddling around with the tiniest things to try and make everything fit, going through the box of all the bolts and nuts, and then finally finding that you're missing a whole bunch of things. So my good friend Martin from Widowmaker Trader has been very helpful in this, and he's just sent me another parcel, which you'll see later. If you fancy winning an RM500, I think it's the 1982-83 model. It's a very rare bike, and Martin is actually putting it up as a prize draw. So just stay tuned and you'll see a link to that. What else can I say? Stick around, see if you can learn anything. So I'll see you on the other side. I've said this before, but what I love about old cables that you can resurrect, particularly with these kill switches, these original ones, I just love the way they kink just in the right place. It all just fits like the way it should. Love it. See, it's things like this that need to be changed out. There we go. I was able to find these. The problem is that these are painted black, so they need to be steel brushed back to alloy.
Here I have a very well used original, you can see there, an original stamped 1983 Mudguard. It's the only one I could find. It has some damage on the front, a nice hole, but unlike this one, which I was going to cut, this is an 80, this is a replica. This is a replica anyway, but I was going to cut this one up, but you can see just how broad this is. And as a result, this is also a bit distorted, broad. Originally, you can see these marks. I thought this is about what the 82 looks like, which is much narrower. Putting those on top of each other, I've got enough flange to work with, but you can see that this center core is a lot thinner than this wide 84, I'm assuming 85. So this wouldn't work. So we're back to this one. Now this 83 is a lot closer. Although they've started to put bigger flanges on, I think they've pretty much left this central core part alone. Now you can see that these are similar in size. So, and in fact, even the ends are pretty good, but as you come around here, you can see it starts to get broader. So there it is. There's the edges. I'm going to use some of this material here in this corner to fill this hole. This pigment, yellow, is so critical. It's gold dust. Let me get to the grinder now. I can see this was kinked at one point, so I'm going to heat this back up. It's better. Okay, we'll have to disguise that somehow. There's a lot of staining in there. We'll get it right. It's unfortunate, you can still see it. A little bit of shadow there, and of course that. So for now I'm just setting this one up for getting it perfect. So still lots of work to do here. This is real lamb's wool. If you have any synthetic in this, it burns the plastic. So make sure this is real lamb's wool. And not too fast. Let's see what we've got.
Very slowly. At first you don't think it's doing anything. And after a while, it starts to shine. Okay, there we go. Here's the replacement. I think that will work just fine. Slightly different color. This one's truer, obviously, because this is original, but the shape is pretty much there. See, the little edge is a bit sharp, so I'll just round it off a little bit more now. There you go. A much better radius. You can see on the 83, this bulged area kind of carries on going. I have flattened off the side as much as I can. I'll probably do a little bit more just to get that little bit more bowed there, like it is there. But generally speaking, it's much the same, virtually the same width. So, yeah, pleased with that. If you want to make these DG plastics look like the original, then you've got to get rid of this horrible lip that I've highlighted in red. Not sure why they do that, but it's wrong. That's all got to come off. So I'm going to grind that off and then shape it with a blade so we get more of this lovely refined rear mudguard, which is ultimately what makes this RM look so special to me. This just doesn't do the trick. This just looks clunky. So I get that from that looking like that. Okay, so that's one I've just done earlier. Much better, back to original. Also, you have to take off one of these lips. It's the non-drive or the drive side, chain side to that. You will also put a nick in there for the through bolt, the see-through bolt on that, but I'm not going to do that yet until I've lined these holes up. So those are the two things you've got to do to make the DG plastic rear mudguard look the same as the original. Again, the tail, depends how they cut them. This one they cut too far out, so you've got a horrible lip there. So we're going to try and take that off. Yeah, very inconsistent work from DG, I have to say. Not impressed. There we go. All I can say is put time aside for these. Lining these holes up is just a nightmare to get them absolutely right. So I'm sure when the wheel is on, we'll see slight offsets which need to be sorted. Same with these. But yeah, I mean, three 182s. I mean, that's amazing. You can really start seeing it now. I'm not going to bend these clips up yet until I've got the lever still has to go on the cable. So just discovered this. I realized I don't have these mounts, so I need to find mounts or make them. Yeah, fiddly job today. Why is that so skew? I didn't see that. That's skew. That's obviously wrong. Yeah. So as you've seen with the radiator mount, the lower radiator mount, we're missing these rubber things. So I bought a few weeks ago, I bought some of this casting rubber, and this was the stiff casting rubber. They offer 3 different tensile strengths. So I brought the stiffest one,
and I've made up little jigs. So I've taken 2 washers. I put a temporary nut on this side of the washer, and now I'm going to cast this in rubber in between these 2 washers, but these won't touch, so they'll be roughly about there. Again, I'm sure someone will ask, why am I not buying them? Well, you can't find them, and I can have a bit of fun working with some of this stuff. So let's see how it goes. Just for those who are interested, it's called Moldcraft. So moldcraft.co.uk, and I'm going to do a little trial here. It's about you can see the instructions there. I'll just focus for you, and then you can flip the camera around. I've got 2 hands going here. So looking at a 30-minute mold time, 5 minutes in the mold before you can take it apart. So it's good. You've got 5 minutes pot life. This is the dye mix. Okay. So that's 5 mils, and we need 5 more mils. Okay, this is runnier than I expected. In there. This is starting to get really tacky now. Very makeshift, but we don't want to waste too much time. Fingers crossed that'll work. Okay, let's see how this went. Oh yeah. There's the mounts. I'm very happy with those. So here is another one from our good friend Widowmaker Trader, Martin from Widowmaker Trader, lifesaver. He take that code down. You'll be able to enter a draw for an RM500. Yes, an RM500, very rare bike. I think it's a tenner is your entry fee. So go give it a scan and go check it out. So what he sent me some stuff. This is something I bought in the USA. The parts that were missing, and the guy in the States wouldn't send it out to the UK. So I contacted Martin from Widowmaker Trader. I said to him, can you help me? And he arranged for the parts to be sent to a friend not far from where he was exporting some bikes for Widowmaker Trader anyway. So yeah, it really helped me out. As I say, every time I shoot videos with this particular MX project, I would not have been able to do as effectively without the help of Martin at Widowmaker Trader. What have we got here? Ah, nice. Right, so for 18 quid, you can buy yourself a mug for the raffle for the RM500. It's a nice mug, something you can keep on at work. So for £18 you get the mug and you get an entry into winning this bike. So if you know anything about the RM500, they are as rare as hen's teeth. So yeah, nice bit of merchandise there from him. T-shirt,
Also, again, I'm not sure what the cost is. You'll have to go to the website, but you can get this nice RM t-shirt, and the price of that also pays for one free entry, as does one of these key rings. So that's really nice. Thanks, Martin. I appreciate that. So when you're doing old bikes from the 1980s, especially motocross bikes, this is what you can expect to find. Now, you wouldn't believe this, but there's supposed to be roller bearings in here. Somewhere in there's supposed to be bearings. And there they are. You can see the last struggle I'm having is to get these needle bearings out. Just have to keep tapping around till I can find one that's loose. On the scrounge for rollers, decent quality rollers, and I think I found enough to make up this last one. That is really nice. Very nice. That'll work just fine. You know, this is now going through all these boxes, and slowly the puzzle's starting to come together. There we go. This is the right dust cap for that side. Fits perfectly. Right, let's get this on the bike. For the top, because they were missing, just like the rest of the bike, but they're done now, and that is great news. So I can focus on the engines. The clutch side needs to face the crank bearing, right? You see this inner lip here? It protrudes out. That faces the outside. So at last, I've got all the linkages tied up, sealed, lubricated. So all three of these bikes are now good to go. The full floater systems are in. And that's quite a thing to say, because I've had quite a drama with them, trying to find parts. And yeah, it just shows you how incredibly rare these bikes have become. And doing 3 has been even more of a challenge. But I guess that's why I have nearly 16,000 subscribers, because I've done this crazy thing. Radiators are in. These little shock mounts have worked so well. Nice and firm, solid. All of them are good. I'm quite happy with them. Yeah, I must say this project is really going well. It's going well. You can see I've got the engine here. I put some bearings in. I put some seals in. So yeah, it's not too fast to go with the engines. I'm learning on this one. I've got to get one more set of coolant pipes, and then the bikes will go together, and then there's all the plastic to do. So yeah, not too far now, not too far.